Alright, here we go. Hello everyone, Jade Arrow here, and welcome to another Age of Empires matchup. Today we have a 2v2v2 on the map MegaRandom. So first off, in the yellow, we have Enwesia playing as the Britons, and his teammate on his left, I think. Actually, he's separated from his teammates. His teammates are on the other side of the map. We've got Omer Mekin playing in the teal as the Turks, and to his right we have Resolve playing as the Vikings in the gray. And that's Team 1. Team 2, in between Enwesia and Resolve in the blue, we have Kados playing as the Japanese. And his teammates on the other side of the map, we have Ire playing in the red as the Aztecs, and in the west corner of the map, playing in the green, we have Tuck playing as the Britons. So this is actually going to be a 3v3 and not a 2v2v2. So looking at the map, after all being MegaRandom, we could have anything happen, and from what it looks like, there are no viable wood options. There's wood scattered all over the map in little clumps, but there's no real wood lines for anyone. Everyone's got a bunch of stone surrounding their base. We've got at least 3 stone piles around everyone's base, and a good amount of deer for everyone, but very little gold on the map. Everyone really has a small gold pile, and the neutral gold piles being scattered around the map only have 4. So not gonna be very heavy into gold units this round. Being as much stone as there is, probably going to see castles later in the game, so we're going to get a good amount of unique units on the field. And if someone wanted to go towers, then that could be a viable option with the amount of stone that there is. The one thing I'm noticing is Team 2, Kados, Tuck, and Ire, are going to be at a disadvantage. Probably because Kados is kind of secluded from his teammates. He's pretty far away, whereas Team 1, obviously Enwesia being sandwiched between Kados and Ire, he's a bit closer to Resolve than Kados is to Ire, so that could be a problem. We could see potentially 2 players going down early if Team 1 decides to gang up on Kados here. They could take him out early, and same on the other side. If Team 2 decided to take down Enwesia early on, we could see that happen. But looking at everyone's civs, the Britons for Enwesia with enough wood on the map to be able to sustain archers, having the best archers in the game, but very little gold on the map, so probably not going to be able to field those for very long. And with the teams being separated, it's going to be difficult to have a good trade line late in the game. So gold is really going to be an issue on this map for everyone. Up on the top of the map, Resolve having the closest neutral gold to his base, so he could probably get a start on that. But everyone right now scouting around with their vills right now because nobody started with a scout. So they can only see where their teammates are and don't really understand how little gold there is on this map. But they're gonna go up to Feudal Age and we're probably gonna see scouts just to get that map vision. And from the way Team 1 is set up, they don't know where their enemies are. If we look at their map vision here, they could be just down here on the bottom. And they also could be right here in the middle of both of them, which is where Kados is. So they're probably going to scout between their bases and see what they can find. But I'm interested to see what these players are going to go for with the little amount of gold that they have on the map. Aztecs, they could go Eagle Warriors, they could go into the Militia line, they could do that. Eagle Warriors, probably not the best idea because, again, the minimal amount of gold on the map, with Eagle Warriors costing 50 gold, it's going to be pretty expensive to field those out for a long time. Tuck also being the Britons, he can do archers with the same thing that Enwisa could go for, and they could also go with skirmishers later on, and that could be good for them. The Turks for Omer Meccan. Turks being the civilization in the game that most relies on gold. He's going to have a problem. If we look at his tech tree here, his options for minimum gold, he does have hussars and really not much else to work with. He's got okay siege, but those are very gold heavy. His skirms, he doesn't get elite skirms, so he's not going to be able to do well in a trash war later on. He only gets spears, so if we go into the late game, he's going to be very behind. So, not sure what he's going to go with. His hussars do get full upgrades from the blacksmith, so they could be very powerful later on. But he's going to have an issue with unit composition later on. The Vikings for Resolve, he's got good archers. He could decide to go with that. And for Kados, the Japanese do get halbs and elite skirmishers, so he'll be alright with the late game war. But everyone just kind of scouting around. They don't really know what's happening right now. So just kind of looking around to see what they can find, get up to Feudal Age and get markets so they can see what their allies see, just to get that map vision. Resolve going up to Feudal Age right now. Everyone's kind of advancing all together. So, going to see very similar Feudal Age times from everyone. And Tuck being the first one to Feudal Age. And Iray is farther behind from everyone. He hasn't clipped up yet. He doesn't even have the food for it. And yeah, being the Aztecs, he's kind of thinking of his choices here. He didn't find his secondary sheaf because without a scout, it's hard to find those resources. So going to go out and take these deer, but without a scout to lure them in, it's going to be pretty difficult to get food from them. Now he does have his berries up there that he could mill up, but doesn't have a secondary sheep, doesn't have that ore. So he's a bit behind from everyone else, and going out with a militia to just kind of scout around right now. He doesn't know what's going on. If we look at his fog of war, he doesn't know. He can guess where his team is. I mean, I know he can guess where his team is. He can see their town centers, but Team 2 having an advantage with placement, they know or can have a very good idea of where their opponents are. They can see there's probably one in between Kados and Iray, and there's probably two in the corner there, so they have a good idea of where their opponents are, whereas for Team 1 here, they're still not knowing. If we look at Enluisa, he actually hasn't scouted much at all. Resolve actually does know that Kados is here, so from that he can deduct that the other two, Tuck and Iray, are down here somewhere. So that's good for him. If we look at Myrmicon, he hasn't scouted at all. He is so far the worst scouting in the game right now. So he's going to be a bit behind with map vision. If we look at his line of sight, what can he see? He just knows that there's deer there, but nothing else from him. He does have his one boar in, didn't get his secondary sheep as well. Doesn't know the gold or stone is there. He doesn't know that that stone's there. He does know that those deer are there, so he could mill up the deer. But yeah, he's kind of far behind. So right now, what are players going for? Iray actually going with a one militia drush. This is the new meta right here. Send one militia out and harass your opponent and do enough damage to take them out of the game. Go for the highest score player. If we can see, Resolve has the score lead right now. So go for the highest score player with one militia as the Aztecs. They got the best drush in the game because they have enough gold to have 5 militia on the field. But if you look at Iray's resources, yeah, he still has 130, which means he does not have Loom. So yeah, he doesn't have Loom. I'm curious to see who actually does have Loom right now. If you look at Omerman, he doesn't have Loom. If you look at Tuck down here, he doesn't have Loom. Iray doesn't have Loom. Kados does have Loom, so he's not that exposed or vulnerable to feudal age aggression. If you look at Resolve, I think he does have Loom, so that one militia not going to do much damage to him. And Lisa down here, he does have Loom, so yeah, for feudal age for these guys, it looks like mostly everyone has villagers on stone, so probably going to see towers from players. Kato's probably going to go for towers, and he has the unique tech later in the game as the Japanese. He has Yasama, so his towers will be probably the deadliest in the game for this match. So if he wants to go towers, he could do that, and he's actually going forward with man-at-arms right now. If you look at Kato's line of sight, he knows that Enluisa's down here, and he's actually going to steal Enluisa's secondary sheep, which of course will put him farther behind, and going out here with a sneaky barracks behind Enluisa's base. So he's going full man-at-arms right now and actually advancing up to Castle Age. He's really early up to Castle Age. Compared to everybody else, they're not going up, it's just him. So we're probably going to see long swords come out. A Resolve actually going to Castle Age 2. He's going to get there right now. Yeah, Resolve going up to Castle Age first, closely followed by Kados, and they're the only two there. And Resolve also going for a barracks out here. Probably going to go with Man-at-Arms, probably, considering how he doesn't have an archer range as the Vikings. And in come these Man-at-Arms from Kados into the woodline from Enwisa. We'll see how much damage they can do. Enwisa does have Loom, so not going to be too devastating, but he's not paying attention up here. This is going to be bad for him. And yeah, Kato's just going to keep bringing out these Man-at-Arms here, and Enwisa is forced to fight this with his villagers, and even though Kados isn't killing a lot of villagers, he does have a bunch of them idle, which will put Enwisa farther behind, so that's just an advantage for them. Every small advantage counts. And yeah, just being annoying with these militia. Enwisa getting a barracks up, but not doing anything with it. And Kato's putting up a town center on this right side here, going to go for a larger eco. And Kados actually has the highest score right now. If we look at Resolve, he's putting up his town centers closer to home. So he's going to be going with a very confined defensive boom. And I don't know what this mess is from Omermicon, but really surrounding his town center. They're not good for farm placement. But I guess he wants to be very safe, and walling the back of his base? Not really sure what his plan is for that. I guess he's just going to surround his town center with walls and keep him safe. Getting a scout out from Omermicon. If we look at his scouting info, yeah, he still has horrible line of sight. Getting some lag here, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. So he's probably going to go out and see what he can find. He really doesn't know where anyone is. But down here now long swordsman from Kados, and that one militia from Ire coming over here to help, doing some damage, and going to go with a scout of his own. Just to see what he can find. Really, the biggest problem in this game is scouting. But later on in the match, gold is going to be a big problem. So, yeah, kind of have to be aggressive early if you want to do damage to your opponent. And not much else going on right now. Everyone's just kind of working the best with what they have. That's really the main focus that's going on right now, is these longswordsmen from Kados doing damage to Enwisa. We're still getting some lag from one of the players. Hopefully that clears itself up. Man-at-Arms from Enwisa here, not a good counter against their higher upgraded counterparts, longswordsman. He should probably go for an archery range if he can afford it. And might get a drop here. Hopefully that doesn't happen. we'll just have to see. So far, no drop. That might change though. And Wisa right now can afford an archery range and get some archers out. I mean, archers would do better against these longswordsmen than man-at-arms would do. Kados doesn't have any defensive upgrades on these longswordsmen, so right now archers could be a good counter against this. Okay. Not okay. There it is. Blacksmith from Kados. Not really seeing upgrades from him. He doesn't feel like he's threatened enough by Enwisa and thinks he can just go well with what he's got and take him out of the game. But nothing else really happening. Myrmicon just walling up his town center with a tower. That's how threatened he feels. Resolve just going with town center is going to just boom up here and go for the late game. Look at his resources. He has plenty of gold. Almost has enough stone for a castle. So maybe berserkers from him. That could be fun to see. Not really sure how effective they'll be against long swords from Kados, but we'll see. That could work. Hopefully this clears itself out. It's really annoying. But Ray down here, not really doing much with what he has. If we look at resource count, he's got a bunch of food and continuing to make villagers keep his TC always working, which is good for him. Tuck with an archery range could go up to castle right now. I don't know why he's not. He should go up to castle right now. He has the resources for it, and he could assist Kados down here against Enwisa. We'll just have to see what happens. Good pick from Enwisa, taking down that Mangonel before it started to siege his town center, because his town center only has 6 range, whereas these Mangonels have 7. So in the Castle Age, Mangonels are pretty bad. If you're sieging an opponent in Feudal Age, then you can just use Mangonel, take down their TC, and really put them behind, if not out of the game. Up here, Resolve, scouting around, and there we go, putting up a castle right outside of Kados' base, and this is what they need right now. By this point, Resolve probably has cartography. He does, so he knows that Enwisa is being attacked by Kados, so he doesn't really have the military to help him. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna do the next best thing and start attacking the aggressor, really. So dropping a castle right outside of Kados' base, and not really the best spot for it, but with his line of sight, he doesn't really see any better spot to put it. So yeah, just putting it right there, it's going to prevent Kados from building any farms out here, going to take down his market. I probably could have put it right there, and that would have been better. If we look at his 504, he knows Kados getting stone from there. He could have dropped it right there, and may have been in range of the town center. But that's going to be a problem for Kados if Resolve starts making berserkers, then he could throw them into Kato's economy here and really do some damage to him. Kato's distracted down here with a bunch of longswords, and Omermicon going with light cav here. So probably going to be able to pick off this Mangonel. Yeah, not sure what he's going to do. He is now in Castle Age as well. This is just funny. Walling up his town center, something you never see. But yeah, he feels threatened enough from Iray way down here. And you might see Iray drop right here. We'll have to wait. And yeah, there goes Iray. So now a 2v3, but still in favor of Team 2 here. Kato's really putting the pressure on Enwisa. And yeah, but now he has to deal with this castle outside of his base, which is going to be a main problem for him. If he can't deal with that quick enough, and if he goes up to Imp, he could shred this down, but with the resources that he has, doesn't have enough for a castle, isn't close to going up to Imp. He's focused entirely on Enwisa, but Enwisa's now in the Castle Age, and probably going to go with longswords of his own. Continuing to make man-at-arms, doesn't have anything else. He's nothing. All of his villagers are inside of this TC here. That's his entire eco there, so might see Enwisa go down. So Iray dropping, and Enwisa pretty much can't do anything here. He's kind of out right now. We'll see if he decides to run to his allies' base and build up from there. But nothing he can do against this. He's continuing to make man-at-arms, but can't afford the longsword upgrade. So just gonna work with what he's got. I think his best hope right now being the Britons getting cheaper town centers. He should gather a bunch of wood, enough to get town center. I think it's 130 something. I'll have to remember. Yeah, minus 50 wood for him. So town centers only costing, yeah, like 137. So he doesn't need a lot. He only needs like 60, and he's running away with these vills, but unless his teammates sling him, he can't do anything. But his TC's gonna go down. He's just running away with all these vills, and if he keeps running, he's going to run right into Iray. But he can't see anything. His line of sight, he doesn't know where anything is. He doesn't know that if he keeps running, he's gonna go straight into Iray's base. Now, something he could do here. This is something that's not well known in Age of Empires 2, but he could do this since Iray he's out of the game. He could have all of his villagers here gather wood, and if he goes over to Iray's TC, if he were to garrison inside of Iray's TC or his allies' TC, I think it's just his allies. He might be able to do it inside of an enemy TC, but if he were to garrison inside of a TC that's not his own, with villagers that are carrying resources, it will give you those resources. So if each of these villagers are carrying 10 wood, and if you were to go garrison inside of his allies' TC, then he'll have wood for a TC. He actually has it now. I'm not sure where he got the wood. From these 3 hills, he has enough for TC. Going to run into Iray, which would have been bad for him if Iray weren't out of the game. But he is, so he's just going to throw down his TC right there. But not good for him, because if we look at Kados, Kados has cartography, and he's going to see this town center here. So, not a good spot for Enwisa, and I don't think he thought about that. I think he was just trying to survive, just find anywhere to put up a TC, and that's where he set it up. But Kados does have cartography, so he can see that go up. Probably just going to head straight over there. If I were Enwisa, I would see that my teammates are up here and Resolve as the high score. I probably would have run right up there and put a TC probably right behind Resolve's base. There's no resources up there. There's only stone and some small patches of wood up there. There's no gold. It's all pretty much on the south side of the map, except for that one pile for Resolve. But over here, yeah, here we go. Resolve pushing in here with another castle. And this town center from Kados is going to go down. And he knows it. He's running away, being chased by Berserks. Here we go. Viking Berserks. Fun unit. It's a unit in the game. If you look at their stats, it auto-regens its own health. It's very slow, but still pretty cool. I think it's the only unit in the game that regenerates its health automatically, but another castle from Resolve. He has enough stone to be throwing down all these castles, and he's going up to Imperial Age. And this is going to be terrible for Team 2. He's going to go up to Imperial Age with very minimal gold and not collecting any. He should go down to this gold mine, which he does know is there because of this house. And there we go. There's the mining camp. So he's going to go down. He's going to get enough gold for a treb and basically empty out everything. Castle there from Kados, but it's going to go down to a treb. Resolve adding scorpions here. He knows that Kados is going long swords, and yeah, here's Kados into Iray's old base, and Wisa's new backup base, now going to be just a graveyard here. And Wisa getting out one spearman. If you look at his resources, that's all he can afford. So this one spearman, if he micros it to perfection, will take down all 3 of these mangonels and push back everything. But I don't think it's going to happen. We'll watch, see if he does it, see if he can take down one mangonel. Probably going to be focused down. Maybe we'll get some friendly fire that will take down the old mangonel here. And we're actually probably going to see one go down. Nope, barely missing, but close. And yeah, and we start running down here, trying to get enough gold. He has enough resources for another TC, and blue asking for help to defeat yellow, but green here, Tuck going with castles of his own, but doesn't have the resources to go with longbows. He's going to go with crossbow, but doesn't have enough wood for it. Because, yeah, he needs to replace his lumber camp. The value of this not real good, but he doesn't have the wood for it, so he only has 2 villagers. And, yeah, idle TC in the Castle Age with his only TC there, and it's idle. So, not getting villagers out on the fields, not having them collect anything. There goes Inuisa, and now he's running up to his teammates. But meanwhile, here's the Trebs from Kados going to clear out Kato's space here. Resolve just going to Treb down this castle, destroy everything here, and he's going to go down here and find this base. His line of sight, he knows there's something down here. He sees the lumberyard here, so he's going to head down there next. Knows the mangonels are over here, so they're not up here defending. Kato's basically handing over this base, but really, what can he do? He doesn't have the resources to do anything. He's also going up to Imperial Age now. He has enough stone for a castle, but he can't really do much with it once he gets there. As the Japanese, he could go samurai, I guess, against these skirms and especially the berserks, but he doesn't have the gold for it. He's mining that gold there, but he needs all his wood villagers here to be collecting gold if he wants to go for that. He's actually pop locked here because that castle going down, all his houses going to be lost. This TC going to go down, and it's looking really bad for Team 2 here. Not only was O'Mermican not safe enough by walling his base and having towers, he has to get fortified walls and guard towers, and if you listen close enough, you could hear him locking the gates. He is not taking any chances. He's just going to just sit here with very few resources, his own little base here, with 3 guard towers, fortified walls, lock the gates. Nothing is going to take down this TC from O'Mermican. But all he has is 4 knights and a couple monks. Real threatening. Just getting a mangonel now, nothing he can do with that. Kados at Imp now, running away to this lumberyard over here, creating that one there, but he really needs gold right now. That's nothing he can deal with. Resolve finding this TC down here. He needs some mangonels out right now, and with some samurai mixed in, so mangonels can destroy these skirms, and the samurai can deal with these berserks, but he doesn't have the resources for it. Actually spending a lot of resources. I'm curious as to what he used his resources on. And Lisa now going up here in between his allies' base here. Just gonna sit there and survive for the game. Kato's gonna put a market down here, probably to start trade with Tuck, but a little too late, man. You've got very minimal gold and doesn't really have the food to be going with skirms. Going to be taking out that Treb there with the ram. Small victory for him. Can't do samurai though. Going to come over with these mangonels, and he's gonna lose them to these berserks. That's a problem for him. He can't be afford to be losing units like this. He doesn't have the gold to be wasting on these mangonels. But that's what he was going for. He's going for two-handed swordsman with very few upgrades. Not really sure about that against berserks. I mean, they have better attack against them. Against skirms, they'll do okay. But I think if he were to throw everything he has onto this small gold pile that he has here. He could go with enough mangonels and samurai to maybe do something, or he could go with scorpions that also work well against the skirms and probably better against the berserks than going with samurai. Resolve kind of bored, I guess, and just deciding to be fancy with his unit formations. But yeah, there's really nothing that Kados can do in this situation. He's barely got enough gold to be creating two-handed swordsmen from 2 barracks. Gonna be collecting the relic because why not? Every little bit of gold will help here. And there we go, finding another gold mine. But so is Enwisa, so we can tell Resolve he's there, even though Resolve has a villager here. He knows it's there. Not the best placement of a mining camp. Mining camp should always be 1 tile spacing, just to get the most vills with the least walking distance to be the most efficient. Looking over at Tuck, he's not doing anything. He's finally making military with his longbows here, and has food and gold. He could go champion if he felt like it. Doesn't have any wood, and that's because he has a total of 4 villagers chopping wood and going all the way back to this lumber camp. Very inefficient from him. He needs to drop lumber camp like right there and gather all this wood. Just to walk back and forth, it's really inefficient and takes a long time. You could be getting a lot more resources just by replacing a lumber camp somewhere. But he's going to go up to Imperial Age with longbowmen, and he really needs to do something with them. But with the amount of skirms that Resolve has, these longbowmen are all going to get destroyed. Yeah, Kados is just walling up his base. He's just going to delay as long as he can. But putting town centers everywhere just to get whatever resources he can to defend this from Resolve. If we look at his resources, finally getting sufficient gold to be able to do something. He's got two-handed swordsmen, but still not going for mangonels. He should put down castles. He has the stone for it. He's in Imp. Maybe he's gonna go with Trebs or something to take down these castles, but I doubt it. He needs the gold. He can't waste it. So he's got mangonels down here, but he really needs them up here. And Kados being a pest, he's like, I can't have this. I can't have these resources, Resolve, but neither can you. So, yeah, take that. Making markets, also making markets in this corner of the map. Not sure if he thought he could trade with his own markets, but that would just be too convenient. Maybe just, I don't know. Not sure what he was thinking with that, but going to be trading with Tuck here and getting 56 gold per cart per trip. That's pretty good for him. He's getting enough gold, and Henwisa saying thanks. Probably got slung some resources. He did. So he's got resources to be able to do stuff here. He should put down as many TCs as he can be doing. He's housed, so he needs to be creating houses, but not doing that. Not sure if he just doesn't care. There we go, he's putting down some houses. Made a barracks just to be able to defend from from Kados. If he came over to attack him, he could defend from it. Bit of a villager scuffle, but that's cheating. Two-handed swordsman in a villager scuffle. Never bring a dagger to a sword fight, I guess. But yeah, Resolve gonna wall up his entire base. Wow, the great house wall of Resolve, I guess. Good gracious, he has to be, yeah, he already has 500 space limit. Why need so many houses? I don't know. Guess just feels like showing off. Or maybe he wants to save the stone for another castle. But, gosh. Great house wall of 18 here. Yeah, has castles back at home, going for a monastery. This Mangonel from Kados, they're going forward. Not sure what they're planning on doing here. Maybe Kados is just using them to scout around. He can see where Resolve is. He knows what he's up to. I guess he's going over to this gold just to hurt Resolve as much as he can. Now Kados has enough resources to be able to field a pretty good army. Going to put his castles down here. He's got champion. Going for conscription, so probably going to be going full champion here. Getting squires here. And if we look at the upgrades, he's got good upgrades on them. He's got the attack at first defensive upgrades. But see, there's the mistake from Kados. If he doesn't take down all the villagers, they're just going to focus down these mangonels, and that's a big loss for Kados. One villager for 2 mangonels. Yeah, not worth it. I guess 2 villagers, or 3 villagers for 2 mangonels. Worth it. And yeah, here goes Resolve, gonna push forward with this army here and probably try to take Kados out of the game now. Kados going Elite Samurai and Kataparuto for the Japanese trebuchet. They can pack up and unpack fast enough that they can launch flaming rock and be packed up by the time it lands. So probably going to be going with Trebs now. But he's got Elite Samurai now. Probably going to be throwing down Samurai, which, as I said before, good idea against the Berserks. Samurai getting bonus damage against other unique units. Yeah, not high pierce armor, so not great against these skirms, but he's got the champions to deal with those. I'm going to use battering rams just for a meat shield. It's always a good idea, something you don't see lower ranked players doing very often, but it's actually really beneficial. Is if you're up against a bunch of skirms or archers, make rams to just soak up the fire from them. You can save a lot of damage on your units and really give your other units time to run in and take out the archers. It's actually really effective. And yeah, Resolve running back here with his skirms, not really sure what he's doing. Tuck here, not doing anything either. Just gonna sit back and exist, I guess. He has resources to do something, I guess. Actually, just spent all his resources. Not sure what on. Oh, he has to be slinging. That's what Tuck is doing. Okay. Tuck has to be slinging Kados here. If you look at the achievements, I bet it'll show economy. He's not. What? He's not sending anything. What is he doing? Well, now I'm confused. He's not doing anything here. I thought he could be going with like a sling, but not gonna do that. Going to send his trade cards somewhere, not sure where they're going. Yeah, there's no market around here. Whatever, he's going with those. Instead of just going straight there. Here we go, push from Kados, going to try and take down these castles here. And it's good timing for him. Resolve's army not here. I don't know where they went. He went all the way back here with his skirms. Not sure what his plan was with that. Taking out the berserks here. So this could be what Kados and Tuck need right now. They really just need to push this back. And this game has gone back and forth. But we'll see what happens here with this push. In goes a ram, going to soak up the arrow fire from the castle. And that scorpion going to do pretty good amount of damage to Kados samurai here. Not a lot of damage, but weakening quite a few of them. And Omermacon got to come in here to help out with his knights. Nice to see he's doing something. And he's also going to make a castle and then wall that in. Of course. Why not? You can never be too safe. And that's all the army he's got. Yeah, not really doing much from him. Or from Tuck. It's kind of just between these two guys. We actually have Siege Ram from Resolve. Not the best option, or even a good option. The Champions and Samurai will destroy those, and all these skirms are going to be demolished by this army here. Yeah, if Kados keeps going here, he's going to push through and then be stopped by this incredible house wall from Resolve. And also going to wall up right there for some reason. Maybe to protect Enwisa up here. Going with pikemen. Not really sure what his reasoning is for that. I guess maybe he's got no gold. Can't really do much. Actually going to be trading with Resolve, but only getting 27 gold each trip. Kados with the score lead now. Onager from Resolve. Better option than Rams, but not great. These guys are fairly fast. They can get up close. Resolve right now with very little gold. Can't do much with it if he... Look at the tech tree. He doesn't get hand cannon here, which would be a good counter to this. He doesn't get paladin. He gets pretty good arbalest, but not going to be effective. He gets heavy scorpion. He could go with that. Going mass barracks here. Probably see a champion from him. Gonna fight fire with fire. We'll see what he does. Pikeman and champion. What? Why pikeman? I understand you have no gold, but Dude, just sell your food and wood. If we look at the market prices, yeah, sell it. You get 49 for 100 food and 62 for 100 wood. Sell it, dude. Sell all your food. Well, not all of it, but most of it. Get good stuff. Good return value from that. Instead, just gonna go with trade, and look at all these farms. He can afford to sell some food. But now in comes Kados here. And pikes aren't gonna cut it against this army. A few monks, not gonna do much against this, and now Kados pushing out across everything. He's going to go straight for the eco. He can see where all the mining camps would be and where the lumber yards would be. He's going to go straight for that just to do as much eco damage as he can. Gonna push forward here, and at this rate he's going to be breaking into Resolve's base, and Resolve can't stop it. Going with skirms, but they're not gonna do anything against this army. Kados, where did his trebs go? There they are, actually being chased down. But they're gonna break down these gates and take down these castles, and then he's gonna run in there, and there's nothing Resolve can do to stop it. Yeah, he's gonna be in huge trouble here. We don't see Omermaken doing anything. Being the Turks, he could get Janissaries, which would be amazing against this army here. He could get hand cannons, would work great for him, but Omermaken doesn't have the resources. His eco's terrible. Not gonna do anything. And Tuck just gonna sit back. Tuck and American, they're just here to watch, just here to exist. Okay, just kidding. He's gonna, oh, yeah. Tuck's gonna do something. He's going to take out the one knight from Omermaken. Actually, he's not even gonna do that. Never mind. Kados just gonna put down a bunch of barracks and keep fielding these champions here. Are you able to attack Gray? He's asking Green if he's able to attack. Well, I guess. You got like 20 archers. Would that help? So yeah, able to attack? Yeah, but not gonna do much with it. Oh, he's actually trading way over here with these markets. I guess that'll work. He's getting 183 gold per trip, so that'll work for him. But really, not gonna be much help in this game. Really, this entire game has been between Kados and Resolve. The others are here for fun. They're here to watch. They're here to give me something to talk to if nothing's really happening between these two. But there's stuff happening. There's a whole mess of skeletons everywhere. Really, Kados just needs to forget these military buildings. Just run into his base here while you can. If you just trip down this castle, and you'd have free roam of his base here. Instead, going to just take his time and slowly take out these military buildings, and that doesn't leave Resolve with anything. He has no gold, he has no wood, has wood for ages, or food for ages. He needs to sell it. Look at the market prices. He can just sell it, get good return value from that, but not gonna do it. Not really sure what he's thinking of doing here. I think he knows that it's really over. There's nothing he can do against this push, so he's just going to hold out and drag it as long as he possibly can here. These castles aren't going to stand a chance against these trebs here. They're going to go down really quickly, and now the gates are down. Now all these elite samurai and champions can just run right in and take out all of these farms. There's going to be nothing left for Resolve, and it's going to be all on Enwisa with his now third base in the back corner here, and Omermikan with his incredibly, ridiculously, unnecessarily fortified base up here. I don't know, maybe that'll actually be useful if Kados comes over there. Oh, Light Cav from Resolve. I mean, he has 16k food. What else is he gonna do? He's got Light Cav. I don't think Vikings get Hussard. They don't. But, yeah. He's gonna go Light Cav, and they're just gonna get completely destroyed by this army. And yeah, it's really over at this point. Gray is kind of the only hope, and there he goes. He's resigned. What? What? It desynced? Okay, I guess. What? Alright, I don't know why that happened, but really it was over at that point. Team 2 kind of had it, even though it was all Kados, and Team 1 all Resolve, but a pretty back and forth game there. Didn't really know who was going to win until Kados came back with that army. He had a massive army over here and pretty much wiped out everything. Killed way more than anyone else did. Resolve only have 69 kills there. But yeah, kind of really surprising twist to this game. But I guess it's a draw, but I would call that a victory for Team 2. Kados pushed through, and there was nothing that they could do. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you amazing people, and I will see you all in the next video.